What's up, YouTube? So today I want to talk a little bit about motivation and staying motivated. So I guess it's such a wide topic that it's hard to give you kind of exact best practices and that kind of thing. But these are just a couple of the key methods that I found to, help myself stay motivated. And something that's actually been coming up on my channel in questions quite often recently. I guess, we're in unprecedented times and a lot of people are, struggling with motivation and stuff. So hopefully this video will help you guys out. Anyway. So I guess, to me, the most important aspect of staying motivated is time management. And I'm going to discuss a couple of reasons why I think that is. I think we all know that it's pretty hard to force creativity, to kind of sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write something now. It's pretty difficult, you kind of have to be inspired by something and you have to, it's one of those things where it kind of just avalanches into existence. Because of this, I find it very difficult to kind of find those moments which, creativity is going to strike. I guess the number one sort of trick I can tell you guys with regards to time management is spend that time that you're not feeling motivated and that you're not feeling creative. Spend that time doing the housekeeping stuff, like manage your samples and, rearrange your preset library and, even things like clean your studio and eat a meal, just so that, when that creativity strikes, you can literally sit down and get as much out of it as you can. You almost want to remove any of the hurdles that might be in your way in that creative process. Like I said, very important things to do, for me at least, when I'm not feeling particularly creative, is manage my samples, make sure they're in folders that are thoughtful and actually make sense. Go through my preset library and make sure that they're in folders, they're named accordingly, they've got the type of macros that I generally use and that kind of thing. So yeah, spend that time making the creative moments flow better. And I think that's kind of the number one takeaway for the time management aspect of things. So topic number 2 that I want to discuss, I wrote it down as shut the door, but I guess this is kind of more metaphorical. When that creativity strikes, I find that, opening yourself up to some of the negativity in the world can often lead to, negative thoughts, which can end up creating an avalanching effect that, ends up affecting your, creative burst. So one thing I like to do is to say, wake up early in the morning and do that creative stuff before logging into social media and before checking your phone. And, if you work a day job, try get a creative session in before going to work. Wake up early, get a good night's rest, and put in an hour before work. And you'll find that those moments are probably so much more creative and so much more, you get so much more stuff done, obviously depending on whether you've done step 1. Those moments you get so much more stuff done and they feel so much more rewarding just because you don't have that kind of hurdle of negativity that might be blocking you from being creative. So I guess this is easier said than done. I know a lot of you guys have day jobs and working around that can be difficult, but like I said, try get an early night's rest and wake up an hour early and put in an hour before work and, see how much different those production sessions are and, play with your time management. Again, going back to what I was saying earlier, try shift things around in your schedule so that, the meaningful time in your day is spent doing the meaningful things. So one thing that can help would be to, remove your phone and any kind of connection to social media from your studio, particularly in those times when you're trying to be creative. I guess, in the housekeeping time, it can help to pass the time if you've got another screen to kind of look at memes or whatever, while files are copying and all that kind of stuff. But I think particularly in these creative moments, try to detach yourself from the world. Shut your metaphorical door to your creative space and try ignore the surroundings of the world. Like I said, it can be, a lot more difficult for some of you guys. I know life is not as easy as we see on TV and that kind of thing, but, try to just shut out the negative vibes from outside. And, I feel like, often I'll wake up in the morning and I've had like a cool dream or something and I'm feeling particularly inspired. And, when I start to think about the ills of the world, it can kind of detach myself. And then I guess the trick is to kind of like take advantage of that kind of moment when you're feeling particularly great about the world or whatever it may be. You could also just keep a notepad next to your bed or something, and if you have these weird dreams or inspirational things, you can just write those down, so that when you're creative, you got some ideas. You know, when you sit down in the creative chair to, you know, do your on time, then you've got a couple of ideas for inspiration. It might not even have to be musical stuff, it can just be random thoughts. Often that stuff inspires different ways of thinking with creativity. Then the last topic that I want to discuss today, I wrote down as measurable goals. So one thing that I think is incredibly important is, I think a lot of guys kind of get stuck in this, you know, how long does it take to finish a track? You know, they set the goal as finish the track, as opposed to, you know, finish the kick and bass, you know, get that sounding good before worrying about these other things. And I think, you know, setting yourself these measurable goals, like today I'm going to just finish the kick and bass, and then tomorrow I'm going to worry about the percussions, and then tomorrow I'm going to worry about the leads and that kind of thing. And, you know, once you set these smaller measurable goals and you achieve them, it kind of creates this avalanching effect where you're feeling this kind of like success of completing these goals, and at the same time working through the ultimate goal, which is to finish the track or release the track or whatever that may be. So I often use a whiteboard, which I have like actually right next to me here, and I'll usually write down my measurable goals for the day. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I will write down a bunch of goals that I have for the day, and I'll also have on the side of the whiteboard, I'll have a bunch of goals for the week. So for example, if I'm working on a track, there'll be weekly goals, finish the track, and today's goals will be fix the kick and bass, fix the percussion, and maybe if I've got time, fix the synths. And, you know, if I spend an hour, maybe 2 hours on it, I will most likely complete at least one of those goals. And that will kind of make things easier for when we step into the process tomorrow or whenever the next session is going to be. So yeah, anyway, this is much less of a tutorial video and more just of kind of thoughts and trying to keep you guys inspired and motivated and stuff, because I know I have been getting quite a few questions about that kind of thing. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments if you want more of this type of stuff. Also let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and then I kind of know what stuff you guys enjoy. Also, if you haven't yet, consider hitting that subscribe button if you want to see more of these types of videos and that kind of thing. And I'm sure you guys know the spiel about my Patreon and all that kind of stuff by now. But if you do want to support me, that's probably the easiest way to do so, and you get a bunch of bonuses as well. So check out the link that's going to be on the screen or in the description. See you guys next time.